Hello, me again. Back with a cast on a map which I have barely ever played. This is one of the Fate of Finland maps, and it's only now that I have bought the Fate of Finland DLC, because this was on the Steam Summer Sale, that I can actually access this replay. And I wanted to cast this game for quite a while because it was a really interesting game mode. So I'm playing on the right, I'm playing in blue, and I'm on Maverick. I'm playing as the, is this the 7th? Yeah, the 7th Mechanized Corpus, and my opponent's playing as the Morskaya Gruppa, which is predominantly like an infantry-based allied division. Straight off the back there, nice kill from his planes. He went for a couple bombing strikes using his Spitfire to scout out, and then using the cluster bombs to take out a few units. And it just forces my units to unload, and it's going to give me the advantage in these trees here. He's not really deployed a whole lot of armour, it looks like, at the moment. And that's probably where I've got the advantage. Because I'm playing as the 7th mech, I do have access to these ISU 122s, and he's going to get set up in this road. Watching down here, this is probably one of the best spots for it. We're in a bit of a rough spot here. My PCRS is getting caught out. I mean, I only really deployed that there to snipe any transports that were coming in. And it looks like we did get at least one kill on a transport, so it could be worse. But the fact that all my infantry has been delayed and it's all been put down in this area is giving him the advantage and allowing him to hold this flag for the moment, so a bit of a rough spot. This Spitfire just circling around is taking out all the ammo from my both my 50 cals in fact, when really I'd want them firing on this infantry here. They're getting a wee bit distracted. It's kind of an option. I don't know if it is in the game, but I would really love it so that you could turn on or off, like fire at air targets only, or ground targets only, like prioritize ground targets, that kind of thing. Because it not only applies for like 50 cals, but for your 85mm and your flak 88s, they can waste a lot of their ammo just shooting at infantry like miles away with the HE shells, and then when a plane comes, you've got none left. So I think it'd be a good addition for them to put in a button like that. Because I'm playing on Maverick, I do have a 5-point deficiency at the moment. But when I get into phase B, then I'm really going to be starting to look to apply the pressure. He's playing on flatline, so realistically, if he makes it all the way through to phase C, he's going to have the income advantage and might win it. Deploying a lot of units here, though. I don't know. I know that the this battle group that he's using does have access to a hell of a lot of infantry, but there are a lot on the field already. Little engagement going down here on the south. I've got Ognovshiki, Strelki SVTs, Tankos. I think they're going to make short work of these lads in here. Morskaya Sturm, so they're basically Sturmoviki rocks by looks of things. MP40s, 2 flamethrowers. They'll make light work of the Ognovshiki if they can stay alive, but combined firepower gets the job done. So I'm certainly winning now on this southern side. I've got some AA set up now as well, because my opponent's already played his hand, showed that he's looking to invest in planes and try and pick off units that way. This is where I want to do a bit of the pushing. Maybe take this flag whilst I'm already holding this one, because right now he's certainly winning up here, where he can make the most of his infantry. It looks like my infantry that got unloaded here have now finally caught up, and they're now just holding off in this tree line, and we're just sort of recuperating. I think, is that his smoke? Yeah, it's his smoke that he's put on this road, so kind of gives the game away that he's looking to reinforce, block off any tanks that may be looking down this road. So really, we've got 2 engagements. Well, we've had an engagement down here on the south, but it looks like the majority of the fighting at the moment is going on the north. And look at this, just what I'm saying. We've now got 2 half tracks that have used all of their ammo shooting the Spitfire, and this thing's so fast that it's not actually as quick as I thought it would be. But I was really surprised to see this. So the Spitfire and that Mr. Denisov there just traded in two 1v1 flybys. There's me thinking that the P40s that have, I think, 8 Brownings on them are going to absolutely annihilate these Spitfires, but I didn't actually realise what these things have on them. I didn't know that there were Spitfires in the game that had this kind of armament. 4 Brownings, 2 20mm Mark IIs, Hispano Mark IIs. It's a heavily armed fighter this, and it's a recon. 80 points is not expensive whatsoever. So in my mind, this is a really, really solid plane. One of the probably one of the best in terms of value in the game in my mind. Very good agility, lots of guns, very quick, recon. You can't argue. And whilst I have deployed a lot of AA down here on the south to protect my tank in this push, he's just going right now to where the AA isn't, which is on the north. Aside from the 50 cows, which have already used their ammo. So looking a bit tough right now. He is winning, 13 to 11, but I'm confident that if I can just soak up this push and then regain some flags, do a lot of damage in phase B, then I can still get the win here. This SIS-2 is now moved up quite close, but it's got a nice firing line down this road to shoot anything that comes down, which is tough to deal with. And really I need to get my infantry pushing up here to try and take this out, but there's just so much in the way of it. Morskaya. Another very, very interesting unit. 12 Thompsons for 30 points. And that's text, they're basically like Captain Cheekies, but just with better guns, because I think Thompsons are better than... yeah, a lot better. Wow, look at that. 6 damage from 12 Thompsons. And then 2.4 damage for 8 PVSHs, so that certainly doesn't scale correctly in an equal manner, if there were more men. Mental. And whilst he does certainly have the infantry advantage, he's pushing it further, even further with the use of his planes, pinning down my infantry, and I think he did actually pin down his own Morskaya there, but I'm looking a little bit light here. I do have one P40. Okay, they have 6 Brownings, not 8. Now going to get on the tail of this IL-2, and it should be able to take it out. Surely, yeah. So that's 1 down. But this Spitfire now coming in to ensure I don't get any more. Gets an oil leak onto the P40. I didn't actually check the Spitfires to see why they were doing so much damage to my planes, because previously they're pretty lightly armoured. So now I'm watching this again, that would explain it. I'm having to invest in another P40 to try and save this damaged one. But it's going to go down, so that's a big loss, because these are really expensive for playing. Well, 95 points. More expensive than the Spitfire. He's got a MiG coming in as well here, and this one is a bit lighter armoured. It's only got 2 of these 20 mils. MiGs, they are Russian planes. Are they Russian planes or are they German planes? I feel like they're Russian, but not one you see a whole lot of in Steel Division at least. So I've got a really nice hold on this southern area now. It's going to be difficult for my opponent to push through and take control of this unless he's going to start... well, he can't use his planes. I've got mortars in place which are going to help me secure this flag. So really it's just up here on the north. He has managed to push through with these Morsk Pehota DPs and get these 2 flags up here, because I didn't really put any infantry to secure this. And now that he knows that there's nothing here, he's going to push up these infantry round as well and just start probing, making life a bit more difficult. I think maybe I overinvested a little bit down here on... maybe I didn't necessarily need all these mortars and AT guns and whatnot, but you know, hindsight's a beautiful thing. I just didn't want him to be messing me up and lose control of this bit, because this is certainly where I'm winning the fight. In terms of trading right now, I would say he's probably had the advantage. I've taken out a few of his infantry units, a couple of planes, but generally speaking I think he's traded the better. And the points are starting to reflect that. It's 15 to 9. He's putting the pressure on now. He's invested, like, for a flatline deployment. I'm sure that this battle group is only going to have very limited access to the likes of these Morskaya Sturms. So, even though he's on flatline, it does look like he's playing as if he's on Vanguard. He seems to have all of his best units coming out in Phase A, like Zis-2s as well. Really strong anti-tank gun. And not going to have access to a whole load of these, I wouldn't have thought. I need to get some AA up here in the north, and we do indeed see this 37mm, the 2-star one, coming up, so that's going to make life a little bit easier. I should have brought one of these in sooner, because if I brought this in, if I brought in an AA gun, sorry, and my P40s, it was going to make it really difficult for him to chase them off, just because you never want to be flying over a 37mm directly with a fighter. It's more than likely going to take a beating. He's doing a nice job with these 2 infantry units to just hold off a push. I need to what's the word? Commit more to the push down here. I've got 2 Strokey SVTs in backup, which need to push up and help these Sapri take this flag, because otherwise this is all for naught. There's only 1 flag, but 1 and 2 here, so I need to be getting this one if I want to be getting value out of this push. So that's a priority right now. And yeah, we do have the Strokey SVT pushing up now, and we've got these lads pinned down, so the Sapri only have to push up and get the surrender. We've got the Tanko Desaniki and my Ognamachiki now pushing up into this town as well. They've pushed via this way because I've secured this area, and I know that it's unlikely going to be any AT guns or anything. I can be confident to push across. And with the Tankos and Ognamachikis, they're probably going to make light work of what's in here. I think a nice cluster bomb there to get my T-34, and he's got 2 Maxims, which are going to be pinning down these infantry, and they need to fall back, otherwise they're going to get absolutely melted. Ognamachiki should dislodge these Oshnaths, and do get the kill. So that gives me another flag, and it's down to 13-11. Over here, back on the north, 37mm is now in place, so now finally starting to apply the pressure onto his planes. Pilot panicked. I must have just got a critical there, because this thing was in plenty of health. This T-34 pushing a little bit closer than I probably would like, but it's okay. Well, that worked. If that had been a unit that had an AT grenade, this T-34 would be toast. But fortunately, it was only a PTRD. But my opponent's recognising that he's having a bit of success here on this very northern side. Really, I should have put a T-34 or something in like one of these trees just to hold the flag and prevent units from pushing across from this way. These aren't cheap. Sorry, they're not expensive. T-34 76s, they're only 55 points. So to put one here to hold off light armour, even medium armour and some infantry, it definitely would have been worth it. So it's one of the main reasons I like casting over and rewatching these games, is you do learn a lot about your own play and how you can improve things. So how are we looking down here on the south? These Morsk Pekota, they were pinned, but now becoming... well, now looking okay. That ISU 122 took a nasty shot from the Zis-2 there. This needs to back off, because even though the HE of these things is very, very strong, I would be worried having it facing off against the Zis-2. Is it firing its APCR? Oh, it doesn't actually say for some reason, but why is it not shooting? My ISU is just stuck on reloading and dies, so nasty stuff there. Really not good. Now this unit infantry, this unit here, this off map, is one of the best things about this battle group. This Morskaya. It calls in a rocket strike, and you only get access to one of those things, but it is absolutely devastating, the rocket strike. I don't know where he's going to drop it. We'll find out sooner, in a short while. But when he does, we'll just have to observe the absolute carnage that it brings, because it really is something to lo and behold. He's got a lot of support units down here now, but not a whole lot of infantry protecting them. If I can take out this Morsk Auto, these Sapri get their frag grenade off, which they do, it's now going to leave them a bit open to what is in this open area. T-34 was pushed up, managing to pin down these Morsk Pakota. And I'm starting to pick off a few of the units that are in this town now. We're back down to 12 all, but I've lost half of my tickets. And we're halfway into phase B now, so I do have the income advantage, but I need to start making it pay. I need to start getting value for it, because it does seem like when it gets to phase C, just because of the income advantage, he is going to be likely to get the win. But having said that, as I mentioned, he's got a lot of units to deploy early on here, so whether he has access to all those units in phase C is another question. We've got PE coming in here and doing what he's been doing to me, dropping a bomb, pinning down these churny Bushlati, and whilst they are tank busters, they don't have AT grenades, so my T-34s can push up and do some damage to this lot. Starting to get a little bit of a foothold now on this northern area. It's no coincidence that once I bring in the 37mm, I can start relieving a bit of the pressure that he's putting on with his planes. He's going for my mortars with his own mortars, and gets a bit of a lucky shot there. Takes out one mortar and 3 men with a single strike. I suppose it's an 82mm mortar, but they're both 82mm, so that's a support gun down, which is a nice kill. These Rozvedka need to push back. This 37mm is going to make short work of them. If this T-34 can come up and start shooting on it, that's going to potentially be to the rescue. Again, another interesting unit, Morskaya Sapri. So no SVTs, but they do have 4 PPSHs and 2 MP40s, so really a kind of storm unit. Of course, with the frag grenade that they have, they're going to be lethal when they get up close. Starting to lose out a little bit in this forest now. Another interesting unit, the Oshnaz, SVTs and a bazooka. So this is his best chance of taking out my T-34s if he can get them into place. Probably going to lose out to the Sapri, I would have thought. If the Sapri can throw their HE grenade in particular. Looks like he's pushed the T-34 up into this middle area. He's trying to see what I had in the town, but he's exposing his flanks to the BTRS which I've got here, and this BTRS looks like it's done a decent job at taking off a few things that tried to push a bit too aggressively. Get the surrender there onto the T-34. BTRS doing the work, somehow didn't get taken out by the T-34s. That's a lovely kill. I always give these things 2-star veterancy, just because I don't use that many of them in the game, and if you do give them a bit more of an accuracy buff, then they're a bit more likely to get lucky with a kill like that. So now that I've taken this flag, it's forced my opponent to invest in a couple of T-34s of his own. I'm going to be unlikely to hold this for too long with those T-34s if they do push up. This gun needs to come along and maybe help out. If this had been watching this bridge, it could have saved these guys, so not micro this terribly well. He's managed to take out the push in this town, probably again from use of this T-34, but we've got some Avtos and a Stroke Comroti coming up. They're going to help me reclaim it. And whilst this Strokey SVT is just hidden in these trees, these churny Bushlati are helping him hold this town as well. But over here back on the north, whilst I do have control of the flags, he does still have some units hidden in these trees. 3 units, which are really, really rough. They've only got the PTRDs, these aren't the better rifles, the PTRS is the best. So they're unlikely to get do too much damage to the T-34s, but you never know. So now I've got 3 AA guns on this mid and north area, and that cluster bomb did a lot of damage. 2 T-34s down there, so a nice strike from my opponent. Maybe those T-34s were doing better off pushing along here where they're under more cover from the AA. Should have just stuck with the infantry in this town. This Strokey SVT, because they are literally on the other, like hanging off this forest here, the T-34s can't spot them. So I am holding on to the flag just. And now giving me the advantage. Oh, well, only momentarily. But I've reclaimed this town in the middle. Got this town here on the southern area. Just this flag to go, and I'm going to be winning now. And now here goes the off-map. Look at it, it's absolutely devastating. This Razvedka needs to unload. Probably going to die. Okay, did unload just in time. But you do not want to be anywhere inside this vicinity. Look at that. Full unit of Razvedka. This mortar is somehow surviving. Praying for its life. Oh, I spoke too soon. So, yeah. They only have access to one strike of that thing. Thank God. Well, one strike is all you need, because it took out, what was that? A mortar, Razvedka, an AA gun. 120 points though, so not the cheapest. So, interesting there, we see these Cherny Bushlati pushed across the lake in their Aquarius vehicle. And I need this T-34 to get into position. I've got these Sapri, they were trying to just hunt the remaining infantry. I've got these Avtos have done a good job cleaning up what was in these trees. Now 14 to 10 to me, even though we are into phase C now, so he's got a 45 point advantage, but I am just questioning whether he can utilise that advantage at this point, how many units he actually has access to in phase C, because he has deployed a lot of units so far. This PE that has used up his bombs, he's got not really any AA on the field, so if I can start bringing in a few planes of my own, I can start doing some damage. Another off-map coming in, this is 180 mil. I don't know how effective this one is, but even though it's a bigger strike, I would imagine that this is toast for all intents and purposes. T-34 is in a rough spot here. Transmission damaged. Cherny Bushlati shooting it on the flank. Two T-34s, yeah, gonna go down. And even though he does push up and take this flag, he is still losing. Just about. Thank God for these Strelki holding the flag down here. And now that I've got these Avtos in place, it's going to be difficult for him to retake this, because they do have AT grenades, and the PPSHs are really, really strong. Still getting the veterancy from these Strelki Comrati that are hiding in this forest, so going to make a light work of an infantry that push up. Got an SU-152 coming up here now. Of course, does have a 2 kilometer range. This is 2 out of 1750, so if we get eyes on this SIS-2, it can make light work of it. I do have some dozer back here, but I think I could have benefited by putting some more recon, maybe in these trees somewhere, to help me spot what was down this way. So as I mentioned, we're not seeing a whole lot coming in from my opponent, even though he's got the income advantage. We're seeing a few Sapri, these Osnads have come in and are just chilling back here. Something went down here, that would have been a plane, probably mine. Oh no, that was his IL-2 that I shot down. He's targeting my 37mm that I've got to help protect these T-34s. Pushing maybe a little bit too aggressively here, taking flanking shots from these SIS-2 and this T-34, but they are now out of sight from it. And if these Strelki can push up here, and if they don't take too much suppression from the Maxim, this SU-152 is pushing too close and is definitely going to go down to the SIS-2 there. One of my T-34s goes down. Can my one return the favour? Yes, it can. I've turned off the HE rounds just to ensure it was not going to be getting distracted. Somehow these up to now they are firing. I do lose one unit of Avtomachikis, but he's going to lose both of his Sapri. So nice trade there. Two T-34s now battling. He's pushing them up to reclaim this flag. But nice stuff there. That's one of them down. And I have taken out the Zis too. And now, in fact, this Maxim is going to go down as well. So he's starting to break up a few of the units around this central area. This IL-2 is not going to have a whole lot of luck trying to push up here and put its bombs down onto my T-34s. It's got too much AA down here on the south. And whilst it is 12 all, he does surrender. So I'm a little bit surprised that he surrendered that early, because you always assume on a flat line against Maverick in Phase C is where he can start winning, but I can only assume it's because he deployed so many units early on that he was starting to run a little bit dry. Kills wise, he was leading by about 200, but it's all about availability in the end. And in the later part, I think I was trading more effectively than him. But I thought it was a really good game. I'm glad that I've got Fate of Finland so that I can finally cast it. Well done to OK. Commiserations. I'm sure I'll bump into him again, and I'm sure he'll have more luck the second time. But yes, that'll be everything for now.